The purpose of this speech tonight is to persuade you to see if we need prison reform in the United States. So, the purpose of this speech is to get some of you out there in the real world to understand that jails really aren't working and we need prison reform. I have the credibility to speak about this subject because I am a former police officer and corrections officer for a local sheriff department here in Mississippi and a police officer in a local municipality. So I have the background to speak on this subject. Is the American prison system really rehabilitating offenders? I propose that we do away with the current system and implement a program that is faith based and with a rehab component to it. If we continue at the current rate we are on, with repeat offenders being 1 out of every 10 will go back into the prison system. That was as of 1998. As of 2015, based on the documentary I recently saw, that number has grown to every 4 out of 10. So for every 10 inmates, 6 will stay out, the other 4 will repeat. And I'm sure if I do a little more digging, I can find that the system isn't working. If we continue on this current path, we will continue to have the same cycle, same cycle, same cycle. Jails aren't working. Offenders need faith-based and rehabilitation programs implemented drastically. Some states have certain programs that can be implemented, but most of the programs are failing. Most prison systems are looking for a word. They recently coined a word called recidivism. Now, recidivism is inmates' ability to get out and stay out, basically what it comes down to. And especially here where I stay, I'm a prison chaplain, and I do a lot of prison ministry work and ministry work through rehab programs. So I came across a book recently, about 3 years ago, and it's entitled Jesus on Death Row. And in Jesus on Death Row, you get a real insight into what jail ministry looks like. And they talk about the ins and outs of jail ministry. Now, jail ministry is different from rehab and or faith-based programs. Jail ministry kind of gets you off the ground, gets the inmates going, and gets them to the Lord. And so this book helped me to understand that jail ministry is only one component of what needs to take place. The habitual offender rate for the state of Mississippi is very high. It's almost at my last count, last check, which was about 2 weeks ago. 2 months ago, was 46%. Now that's a very high rate considering Mississippi is a pretty small state, but with a very high rate of habitual offenders. Um, Offenders need rehab. Jail is not the place for people who have drug problems and alcohol problems to get help. It's just not the place. So I propose that we implement offender-based helps. Rehab, first of all, to get the drugs out of the system, alcohol out of the system, and faith-based so that they can get renewed in their minds. The Bible says that we need to get renewed in the spirit of our mind. And the first thing that needs to happen is faith-based initiative needs to take place. I'll give 2 examples of this. One is a biography of a gentleman that I know here in the state of Mississippi. He's a pastor now, and his book is entitled Inmate 46857. And it's the story of Eddie Spencer, who was on death row for killing a man. And while on death row, he found the Lord. And what was meant to happen was, of course, he was on death row, so he was going to die. But miraculously, the in the story, he finds God and goes to court, and he forgives himself first of all for what he did. And he's so changed while in jail that he actually got a chance to get an appeal. And he won his appeal, and he got off death row, and he is out. The man is alive. For the glory of God, Eddie Spencer is alive and pastoring a church and telling people about the goodness of God. And lastly, I believe offenders need rehab and not lockup, because of a program that I'm a part of called MORE, which is Mississippi Offenders Reentry Program. And this program is a program that gets people who have been incarcerated and gets them reestablished into the community. It gets them back working. It gets them back doing some of the normal things once they get out of jail. So these people need help now, and jail isn't giving them that help. So I propose that we stop all of this back and forth about prison reform. We need this, we need that. No, we need change now. Remember, jails aren't working, and we need a faith-based programs that can help people. Thank you.